We live in a time when work occupies a significant portion of our lives. More than hours logged or goals achieved, it directly influences how we think, how we feel, and even how we relate to ourselves and to others. You may have already felt that kind of exhaustion that doesn't go away even after resting, the anxiety that starts before the week even begins, or the constant feeling of being on edge. These signs don't appear by chance. Talking about mental health at work today is not a trend, it's an urgent necessity, because the workplace is no longer just a space for productivity, but also a space that deeply impacts emotional well-being. When this is ignored, the cost is not only individual, but collective, affecting families, organizations, and society as a whole. If this topic resonates with you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the Well State channel, and turn on notifications. That simple action helps this conversation reach more people who truly need it. The importance of mental health at work has become even more evident in recent years, especially as the boundaries between professional and personal life have become increasingly blurred. With technology always within reach, many people feel constantly available, responding to messages outside of working hours, carrying work-related worries home, and struggling to truly disconnect. This state of constant alert creates a quiet form of exhaustion that gradually drains motivation, focus, and even enjoyment in tasks that once felt manageable. This isn't about weakness or a lack of ability, but a natural human response to environments that demand too much and allow little room for emotional recovery. Unfortunately, there is still a cultural belief that talking about psychological distress at work is a sign of fragility, when in reality, it's an act of self-awareness and responsibility. Another key factor is the pressure for results. Increasingly high targets, tight deadlines, and the feeling that nothing is ever enough create an environment where fear of failure becomes constant. This fear feeds anxiety and prevents people from feeling safe enough to learn, grow, innovate, or even ask for help. Over time, this kind of environment can lead to emotional exhaustion, commonly known as burnout, which is now officially recognized as an occupational phenomenon. Burnout doesn't happen overnight. It develops gradually through excessive workloads, lack of recognition, imbalance between effort and reward, and absence of emotional support. Talking about mental health at work is one of the most effective ways to interrupt this cycle before it becomes deeply harmful. It's also important to understand that work-related mental health issues don't affect individuals in isolation. A toxic environment marked by constant conflict, disrespectful communication, or emotional invalidation tends to impact entire teams. When someone is emotionally overwhelmed, their ability to collaborate, listen, and stay engaged naturally decreases. This creates a ripple effect where the overall work climate deteriorates and productivity drops, even when everyone is trying their best. Caring for mental health at work is not just an act of compassion, but a matter of long-term sustainability. Workplaces that promote psychological safety often experience higher engagement, stronger creativity, and better talent retention. At the same time, discussing mental health at work today requires acknowledging that each person experiences work differently. What feels motivating to one person may feel overwhelming to another. That's why there are no universal solutions or quick fixes. Awareness is the first step. Noticing how your job affects your mood, your sleep, your energy levels, and even your self-esteem is already a powerful form of care. Many people normalize emotional distress, telling themselves that this is just how work is, or that everyone feels this way, when in reality, their mind and body are signaling that something needs attention. Ignoring these signals doesn't make them disappear. It simply delays the moment when they may surface more intensely. Mental health at work is also closely connected to the sense of meaning we find in what we do. Working purely out of obligation, without purpose or alignment with personal values, can create a difficult-to-explain emptiness. This doesn't mean that everyone has to love their job all the time, but feeling that your work has some meaning, that it contributes in some way, makes challenges easier to manage. When that sense of meaning fades, work can become just a source of stress and survival, increasing the risk of emotional exhaustion. Reflecting on your professional path, your limits, and your expectations is an essential part of protecting your mental health. Another often overlooked aspect is the quality of relationships in the workplace. Relationships built on respect, empathy, and open communication act as powerful protective factors for mental health. On the other hand, environments driven by excessive competition, gossip, or psychological harassment tend to generate insecurity and emotional distress. Talking about mental health at work today also means talking about shared responsibility. It's not only about taking care of yourself, but about contributing to a space where others can feel safe to be human. Small actions like practicing respectful communication, offering constructive feedback, and being open to dialogue can make a bigger difference than we often realize. It's also important to say this clearly. Seeking professional help when work starts to seriously affect your mental health is not a failure. It's a sign of maturity and self-respect. Mental health professionals can help you understand emotional patterns, process difficult experiences, and develop healthier coping strategies. Many people wait until they're completely overwhelmed before asking for help, but preventative care is always more effective. The earlier we recognize that something isn't right, the greater the chances of recovery and positive change. The conversation around mental health at work must also include leaders and managers. Leadership styles have a direct impact on the emotional well-being of teams. How expectations are communicated, how mistakes are handled, and how effort is recognized all shape the psychological climate of a workplace. Leaders who encourage balance, respect boundaries, and value rest contribute to healthier environments. In contrast, leadership driven by fear and constant pressure may produce short-term results, but often at a high emotional cost. Promoting mental health at work is both a human responsibility and a strategic decision. Ultimately, talking about mental health at work is a reminder that people are not machines. We all have limits, emotions, and needs that go way beyond productivity. Recognizing this is essential for building a healthier relationship with work and with ourselves. If this video was helpful for you, leave a like, share it with someone who might benefit from this message, subscribe to the Well State channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss upcoming content. Thank you for being here, for taking time to care about your mental health, and for being a part of a community that believes that living well truly matters.